I never really loved playing demos, especially for games I was already sold on. It felt like I was spoiling the experience, like watching 20 minutes of a movie that doesn't come out for another 6 months. I'd rather just wait for the full product. But with so many games releasing each year, so goddamn close to each other, I've started to embrace demo life, at least for now. One of the demos that stood out this year, Yacht Club's upcoming game, Mina the Hollower. Maybe it's the Game Boy Color style graphics, maybe it's the studio's pedigree. Either way, I need a confirmation that this game could live up to their now 11-year-old debut, Shovel Knight. A Link to the Past is my origin into top-down adventure games, and Castlevania 2 had my favorite game soundtrack growing up. So I don't say this lightly. Not only does Mina the Hollower live up to those expectations, it's officially a day one purchase. For me, the anticipation comes down to 3 things. Mina nails the Game Boy Color 8-bit look. Not just nostalgic, but vibrant, stylish, timeless. No surprise from Yacht Club Games, the studio that kicked off the modern pixel art revival with Shovel Knight. Gothic horror vibes grab you from the opening, and playing it feels even richer than the trailer promised. The chiptune soundtrack and retro sound effects stick to classic hardware limits, yet still deliver a catchy, immersive soundscape with satisfying touches. Details pop everywhere. Mina's ears flap in the wind. Boulders explode with satisfying visuals to go along with it. What about the level design? Packed with secrets and teases. Cracked wall, a narrow tunnel, boom, hidden room, treasure chest. And I love the out-of-reach bait, a shiny ledge item or strange glow behind a locked gate. I can't get that now, but I'll have to come back later to complete it. But like any game, all pixel-perfect style in the world wouldn't matter if the game handled like a TMNT water level. Thankfully, Yacht Club knows how to make a game feel right. The core systems are solid. Mina has a choice of primary weapon, and there are several. She has a standard attack plus a limited use side weapon, which functions similarly to Castlevania weapons like holy water or crosses. Like Castlevania, you'll find these side weapons around the level, and when one is picked up, the other is dropped. One was an axe that, when thrown, would explode on landing with a satisfying sound. The other was like a boomerang dagger, hitting an enemy multiple times in a straight line. Despite being a top-down action game, there is also a jump button. Mina feels weighty, and when you commit to an action, like an attack, you're in the animation lock before your next move. What stands out is the core Hollower mechanic, where Mina burrows underground. And it's a fun mechanic. They could have slapped a standard dodge roll like every other action game since 2015, but instead, they went with something that actually fits the world and adds depth. It's creative and useful. You can burrow to move faster, leap across gaps, scoop up items, access secret areas, and use it to dodge boss attacks with some style. At each checkpoint, Mina can also burrow herself underground to retreat to her little rat cave. I love how her home base follows her throughout the level. It keeps things feeling connected. Inside, you've got the essentials, a bone ATM to deposit and withdraw your hard-earned bones, a chest to store your armaments, and my personal favorite, the giant, empty, chest-labeled trinkets. There are no trinkets in the demo. It's all there to tease. I look forward to the full game that lets me tweak or enhance everything I already have, the combat, the traversal, the environment. Bonus points if each trinket comes with a cryptic one-line description that makes 0 sense until I spend 3 hours watching YouTube lore breakdown. And this brings me to my third and final point, the Souls-like influence. Calling something Souls-like in 2025 isn't exactly groundbreaking. Everybody does it, and most of the time it's not even necessary. Mina does it in a tempered way. The influence is clearly there, but it pulls in its Souls-like mechanics in a way that feels smart, and it doesn't feel shoehorned. Yes, there's a death mechanic. You collect bones, basically souls, use them to level up, and, this is a big shocker, you drop them when you die. Well, to be more precise, you only lose them if you die again before recovering your spark. Thankfully, the game lets you stash a portion of your bones, which strikes a nice balance between punishment and progress. The healing system is also not your run-of-the-mill health flask, and I think this is the mechanic that stands out the most. I learned the hard way. Low on health, I hit the heal button, and stupid Mina just stood there like I tapped photo mode. There is no photo mode. Turns out, you don't just pop vials and hide behind corners. You have to earn your healing by staying aggressive and dealing damage. You've got a limited number of vials per checkpoint. so there's no room for passive play. You're pushed to stay in the fight, get your hits in, and get out. This can be pretty stressful when you're low on health and need to get near a boss and hit him while avoiding the one-shot death. This isn't to say that Mina the Hollower is a hard game. From what I played in the demo, the game is fair, the combat is forgiving, you don't immediately die in a pitfall, so I'm curious how the difficulty will scale in the full game. Now, I'm not saying this game is perfect, even though I've been pumping its tire throughout this video. It's still just a demo, and we all know demos can be a bit of a catfish. Everything you play is not indicative of the final product. If you are a fan of Shovel Knight, if you're into the pixel, graphic, Game Boy Advance style game that's polished and sharp, keep an eye out for this one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give it a like, drop a comment with your thoughts, and maybe even subscribe for more videos. Take care.